world problems with algebraic equations. And the first one we see is Shirley wants to frame a drawing. So she has a frame and she needs to figure out the dimensions of her frame. So the border of the frame is x inches wide. So each part like this is x, and it's the same here, 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 and here. Now, we don't know how wide it is. So dimensions of the drawing are 12 inches by 5 inches. So we need this way to be 12, and we need this way to be 5. Now, it says that the outer perimeter of the frame is 58 inches. So we're going to find the width of the frame border. So we are looking for x. And we know that the perimeter equals 58. Now what exactly does perimeter mean? Well, perimeter means all the way around the outside. So we can figure out right from the beginning that this way is x here plus 12 in the middle plus another x. So one side like this is 2x plus 12. So we need to figure out all the sides. So we can say perimeter equals all sides. So the first side we know is 2x plus 12. And we know that this side should be the same length. So we're going to add another 2x plus 12. Then we need to figure out this side and this side. Well, same thing. It's x plus a 5 plus another x. X, a 5, and an x. So we need to add 2x plus 5 plus, on this side, same thing, 2x plus 5. We add all these together. That gives us our perimeter of 58. So if we combine, 58 is going to equal, we have 2x, 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 that's 8 x's. 12, 12, that's 48, plus 5 and 5 is 58. So let's get rid of the 58 on both sides of our equations. Oh, sorry. I think I had it wrong. Oh, that's 24. So 34. Makes more sense. So plus 34. Now we need to get rid of the 34 to move it on that side. We subtract, don't want our equation to be unbalanced. So we subtract from this side as well. Those cancel. We get 8x here. This side we get 24. Now we're going to divide both sides by 8 so that those cancel. And then x becomes 3. So we figured out the width of our frame here is 3 inches. Let's try an example. Example 5. So Lisa wrote a riddle. The positive number of 1/3 of another, or a positive number is 1/3 of another positive number. If their difference is 48, find the two positive numbers. So we could say first number, second number, and we're going to try to draw these out with bar models. So let's say the second one is 1/3 of the first one. So we would want to draw out the first one and the second one, knowing that the second is 1/3 of the first. So there would be 3 parts to 1 part of the second. We also know that the difference is 48. So this part, which is more than that one, must be 48. So we could say if 2 units equals 48, 1 unit equals 24, and if 1 unit equals 24, and we want to find this whole thing, 3 units equals 3 times this, which is 72. So we could say that the positive numbers are 24 and 72. Other way around. 72, 24. Awesome. Try that on. You could also use algebraic reasoning. You could say the problem is x minus 1/3 x equals 48, because that would give you 2 units. The difference is 48. And then once you solved it, it would tell you that x equals 72. And this part here, of course, would be x. So to get to the second number, you would just divide it by 3. See, this other one is that. Okay. Go to practice number 1. Try that one. Then we'll move on to example 6. Okay, example 6 says, a theater is divided into red section and blue section. The red section has 350 seats. The rest of the sections are the blue. So blue is going to be the total minus 350. Okay? A ticket for the red section costs $75. Ticket for the blue section costs $50. So let's organize this into a table. You can see here they organize it into a table. Red and blue, these are the prices, 75 and 50. Number of tickets, 350 and X. And we know that the ticket sales, the amount, the money they got, is this one times that one. So 50 times X is 50X. So we could say that from the table, the total sales are this much plus 50X. Okay? So it doesn't tell us what X is yet, but it tells us the formula in terms of X. So we would get from the red section 26,250, because it is this number multiplied by that number equals this one. And then if we get our total, we'll just call that X multiplied by 50. That gives us 50X, and that would be how many we sold. We don't know what X is, we don't have enough information to figure it out. So we leave it at that. B, it says we can actually find it, so let the number of comic books that Zoe has be X. Let the number of comic books that Jared has be X plus 12. And they have oh, sorry, I got ahead of myself. Yes. So, the total sales for all the tickets was 68,750.
What?
I'm making a video.
Oh. Okay. I'm just practice with Kindy, okay?
Okay.
Let's
equals this, because total equals the combination of all of them. So we get this as our equation, and we can solve it. Subtract from this side, we also have to subtract from that side. Carry down the equal sign, and that gives us 50X and 42,500. If we divide both sides by 50, we get X equals 850, and so that tells us the blue number of people that sit in the blue section, which is 850. Okay, try that on guided practice 2. Okay, we have one more example. I'm going to write that on the back. Example 7. This is the one that I tried starting earlier by accident. So Jared has 12 more comic books than Zoe. There's Jared's comic books, Zoe's comic books. So I'm going to draw it out that if these two units are equal, and Jared has 12 more, I'll add another box here that says 12. We don't know what either of those are. Okay? So they have 28 comic books altogether. So now we need to figure out how many comic books Jared has. So this is what we want to know. We're going to call these two units x, and they are equal, completely equal. So we could say that 28 equals x plus 12, and then we can solve this. So we can figure out what x is, then we can figure out how many Jared has. So 28 equals 2x plus 12. Let's get rid of the 12 on both sides. Carry down the equal sign. This becomes 2x here, those cancel. This side becomes 16. Divide both sides by 2. And then we find out that x equals 8. So now to figure out what Jared has, what that question mark is, we could say that it is 8 plus 12, which equals 20. So he has 20 comic books. Alright, that is how to solve it. So now try that in guided practice 3.